Thanks for coming. I'm Sheriff Roger Deeds. I guess I know most of you from last night and today. And I guess most of you got to go out earlier today to the site. So hopefully you got a lot of good footage and all from that. Search and rescue operations are pretty much winding down, but we got search and recovery operations going on now. We have not had any more information on finding any bodies at this point in time, so it still stands the number that I put out last night, 6, and we're still at 6. I've got names that family members have finally been notified, so we do have names now. Glenda Whitehead, Bob Whitehead, Tommy Martin, Leo Stefanski, Jose Tovar, and Marjorie Davis. I don't have any ages on those people, but they're all adults. So that is who we have confirmed, 2 females and 4 males deceased from the scene from last night.
What females, females?
2 females and 4 males.
Their ages, sir?
I don't have that information.
Adults in general, or any of these children?
No, none of them children. They're all adults. I know Mr. Stefanski personally. He's 80 years old, and I believe that Marjorie Davis, I think, was in her 80s also. But the rest of them, I'm not sure of their ages. We had some issues earlier today. I tried to get the roads opened up on Davis Road. Then we had a bunch more problems because we've still got a lot of heavy equipment moving down there. So we've got Grand Harbor opened up for the residents to be able to come in there, as long as they've got ID to show that they live down in there. And Nova Ranch is opened up also. That's to the south side of the affected area out at Rancho Brazos. So the section of Davis Road is still closed off right there. So if you need to go down and around, come into Nova Ranches, then you have to go out and around to the east and come down across Ray Road before you can get in. And you need to have, get into any of that area, you probably need to have picture ID for any of the DPS troopers or my deputies are going to let you get out there.
Sure. Like just repeat the bottom.
How many people are deceased?
And how many are still missing?
We still have information that there could be half a dozen to 7 out there missing. I haven't got any new information to make me think otherwise. So hopefully we just got some people that are displaced and moved out, moved on, haven't reported in. We've had, I believe it was 124 people that reported in the Red Cross. So we've confirmed that they've checked in, but we moved out about 250 people last night, so we're still short some people. So we're going to keep on looking. We're not going to give up. Every piece of debris is turned over, and we know that we're good to go. So that effort's going to continue on until we can start worrying about it. As far as cost estimate?
Yeah, the cost of the...
Now, there's 97 total homes out of 110 that have been damaged, from minor damage up to totally destroyed. So, still trying to put together some of that information, so I don't have any damage totals for you right now. I was working on my state paperwork earlier, but I did not get to that stage today. Glenda Whitehead, Bob Whitehead, Tommy Martin, Leo Stefanski, Jose Tovar, and Marjorie Davis are the 6 deceased people. We've had a lot of requests for that kind of, for them to get back in there, get personal belongings, things of that nature. But with the gas, with the electricity, with hazards in the area, I'm not going to take a chance to let people get in there and have anybody else get hurt. I'm worried about my first responders that are in there now. I don't want to get anybody hurt, and I definitely don't want to let the people get back in there too soon. I know I've got some upset people, but I want to make sure that everybody stays safe and sound. So we're taking it one day at a time. Just taking it as it comes. When everybody feels confident that we're not going to find anything else, and going to start moving a lot of that over and out to clear the way a lot better. So just taking it one day at a time.
Sheriff, is the search and rescue?
I'm very confident we're going to find the people alive as well, and they just haven't reported in to us. But we'll keep you posted on that as time goes on.
So I just want to be clear, is the search and rescue operation now over? You're just looking for bodies at this point?
Well, because I have some people missing, and we're going to go until every piece of debris is turned over just to make sure nobody's still missing in there. And I don't have 100% people checked in, so I still possibly have maybe half a dozen or 7 missing. So we're going to continue to call it search and recovery.
And like any of the 7 children, the 7 missing?
I've had people talk about some kids, but I can't confirm on that. I don't know. We haven't found any kids, so that's a good thing.
Are kids going back to school tomorrow?
The kids should have went back to school today that were available. Schools were open just like normal open schools that were used yesterday for a triage center. They were ready to go for school this morning.
Sheriff, do you know if any of the deaths happened from mobile homes? Was it all in regular homes? Do you know where it occurred?
That I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, but it's all in the Rancho Pass.
It's all in the ranch and Brazos area. I don't have the ages on the thing.
Sheriff,
Spelling.
We'll send in names and ages as we get them out after a while.
Yeah, we'll get that out.
We just got this information released.
What about
We'll get that to you.
We got
actually who's helping? With the what other counties are helping?
Well, we have the Texas Task Force 2 in here early this morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. They finished up about 9 to 10 o'clock this morning. They're helping. They're from Dallas Fire Rescue to help us with the search. As far as cleaning debris, moving it around, Hood County Road Operations, we're doing it right here in the county. We've got requests for some equipment to come in from Fort Worth, and that'll be some cooling units and porta potties. We've got a lot of people out there. I think we had up to 90 people out there at lunchtime that I had to take care of. So, we've got mainly local people out there right now. Local firemen, local law enforcement, except for DPS.
Sheriff, for the people who live in this community, what would be the most important thing you would want them to know at this time with so many unanswered questions? You know, if you could use this opportunity to speak to the people of your community.
Well, the people that live out there and are wondering when they're going to get back home, they just need to hang in there. Unfortunately, they're going to need to plan for the long haul. As we saw, many of us that got to go in there today, that the water system is a total loss. Electricity is, for the most part, down. Lines are down, non-existent. So there's no water, there's no electricity that's going to be in there, except for possibly way on down the road. So those homes in that community are not going to be livable, even the ones that are still standing, because of no water, no electricity.
Sheriff, as difficult as a situation like this is, did you know going into this that you knew one of the victims personally? Tell us about discovering that.
Well, I've been around this county for a long time, so I know a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. So I just try to take it as it comes and help everybody, and don't take anything personal. So I guess that's what part of being the sheriff is all about, is do what you got to do what you know is right, and take care of the citizens. Some like it, some don't, but you got to do what's right. And unfortunately, out here we've got a lot of people that aren't happy because they can't get home, and we're going to be working on plans to help them get in, get some medicines, get some clothing, and then try to get on with their life as best they can. But don't want anybody to get hurt in the process, so we're going to do it as safely as possible. Yeah, there was. Yes, there was over 40 homes that were built by Habitat for Humanity in the last, most of them in the last 5 to 6 years. They went in, the community went in with a lot of partnering agencies, a lot of of the side-built homes, we had 19 destroyed, 17 with major damage, 30 with minor damage, and 12 with just windows, shingles, so just affected. And then mobile homes, we had 17 destroyed, 2 with minor damage, so 97 homes out of 110 in that subdivision were affected or destroyed. Well, no, I didn't say how I knew Mr. Stefanski, but he was a resident in my jail. That's how I knew. I didn't say he was a bad guy. He had spent some time in my jail, so we got to know each other. So he's had a hard life with health conditions, and that's how I got to know him, making sure I took care of him while he was staying in my jail. That's how I knew him.
Well, it's a friendship afterward.
It's just a professional relationship. I take care of them, but you get to know them, so that's how I knew him.
Sheriff, when you mentioned the people killed, 2 of them had the same last name. What, if anything, can you tell us, was their relationship or?
That I'm not sure. We were talking earlier today with some of my staff about son-in-laws, moms, mother-in-laws, different things. So I'm not sure if this is husband and wife or something different. I'm not sure at this time. We'll try to clarify that, get that information out here.
In Granbury, they have been launching the relief operations and the press conferences to give us information about what's going on. And
I have not
from the
heard
shopping
of
center
it.
parking lot, we were permitted to board buses to go and see the damage. And the damage is tremendous. Blocks and blocks of well-built homes. We've spent the day off wreckage trying to be sure that there are no people still doing 7 videos out this morning that still are. Officials say found safe with relatives who are not suffering the wreckage. During the search and recovery effort of unsafe residents are forbidden from returning to salvage belongings for now. And after this
Last I knew this morning, we had 37 that were received through the hospital last night, Lake Granbury Medical Center, and the only ones that were still in there this morning, there were 4 of them. And I haven't got an updated report on them if they're still in the hospital or gotten out. So most of them, there was some broken bones, but most of them ended up fairly minor. That's what came to Lake Granbury Medical Center. I believe there were 16 that went to Fort Worth. And I'm not sure of their status at this time. No, I don't have any. We'll send that out, make sure we get that addressed electronically.
We spoke to the sheriff out there at the scene of the damage.
We reported that last night.
He spoke to us here in this parking lot.
Most of the time, but I'm not aware of it. I was given a report from the
damage
hospital. They didn't say anything about amputees in their reports. They said cuts, lacerations, contusions. They didn't specifically spell out
safe and
anything.
sound this afternoon.
The sheriff is obviously when the sun comes up, came up today, you get a much better idea of what
The
exactly
mayor
we're
is
looking at.
promising that this
I know what it looks like. Did anything from what happened last night, anything turn out better today than perhaps you had anticipated it may have been? Was there any shred of good news today?
Well, it was, I guess the good news was when I heard of the damage and the devastation out there, I was really expecting more loss of life. So it's not good for the families that lost loved ones, but to have only 6 was, after we especially heard from the National Weather Service that this was a F4 tornado, that and seeing what we saw today, last night, that it was one of the worst things we've ever had.
Sir, they're worried about their pets that got lost in the wind and such. Did anything being done to search for them?
The County Animal Control was out last night picking up stray cats and dogs, pets in general. Today we had the Humane Society that came in about the so we can take all those cats and dogs, pets, and we know what residents they go to. That we're going to do all the paperwork to make sure that information stays with those animals so we can get it back to their owners. And the ones that are not, we're going to put through Pet Finder and other electronic media, and we're not going to let anything happen to those dogs and cats at this time. We're going to try everything we can do to get them back to their owners and similar to the reverse 911 system, but it's actually called Code Red, but it works similar to that. We got that back in 2004. I got it through a grant to get it started, and through a partnership between us and Luminant that owns Comanche Peak. We've been using it ever since. So it does Cook County a good job. It dials quite a number of phones per minute, and so last night I think it was over 18,000 homes, 18,000 phones that were notified of the emergency, plus having the sirens.
What kind of warning did that give them? How far ahead of it?
It was 10 to 15 minutes out. We put out, I was on the radio, amateur radio with the National Weather Service along with the storm spotters of the county. And we were monitoring the storms as they were coming into the county. And as soon as my storm spotters started seeing rotation in the clouds, dip in the clouds, everything that gives us indicators that something bad's about to happen, we were communicating that with the National Weather Service. And when they confirmed what we were seeing from the ground through radar, we put out this notification at the same time when they said, yeah, we're going to put out a tornado warning notification for their county. So we started at that time, and at that point in time, the main part of that storm, the rotation, was north and west of Granbury, north and west of the airport. So then we had time to move across, move east, back up, and then move to the south, and then cut across country until it eventually ended up over at Rancho Brazos, where we had the event.
And so this was a warning.
I put that out so many times I didn't bring all of that. It was around 8:10, 8:20 when the tornado touched down out there in Rancho
So
Brazos.
15 minutes before that was sent the alert.
It was 10 to 15 minutes prior to that when the alerts went.
Sheriff, has the governor's office responded to the county and the mayor's office?
Yes, we've talked with the governor's office, talked with Senator Birdwell. He's been at our EOC, talking to our judge. The state regional liaison officer has been up at the Emergency Operations Center most of the day along with DPS troopers. We have a lieutenant that he's still up there right now. So we've coordinated quite a few different things through the State Operations Center, which goes directly to the governor's office for approval. So
Do you think you're the one help?
I believe it. It's always better to get notification.
You believe would be the largest, biggest logistic getting stuff out of there is getting utilities back. What would be the biggest job for another team?
The biggest job is getting the area cleaned up. I think that's in storms, fires, wildfires, different things that I've been around and participated in as an emergency management coordinator in the past. Cleanup is always the worst. Dealing with that, just so you can make room for people to move on, move forward in their life with new homes or fixing homes. So that's usually the worst thing right there.
And so you are taking it one day at a time, but for everyone who was affected, any vague estimate even for when they will be able to at least go back and see their houses?
I'm taking it one day at a time, and I hope sooner than later. Sorry, I can't give you a better idea than that. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, and then I don't want anybody going in there and getting hurt, so I'm going to make sure that it's safe for them to go in before I let them go in and not have any disruption caused for the search operations either. We need to make sure we give all those families that are missing people a chance of closure. So we want to keep everybody safe, do the job one step at a time before we move to the next thing.
Is there a central donation center?
Donations,
To give water.
donations need to go through Mission Granbury. Mission Granbury has been set up for quite a few years. It's out north of town on Highway 51, Houston Street. And I can get your phone number to you if you need it, or we can send that out electronically also. It's on the webpage, but they do a great job and have for many years helping the community, helping people with a lot of needs with food, paying bills, taking care of business, and so it makes sense to keep them on top of things, and so everything needs to go through Mission Granbury.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We're not asking you about sheriff, but you're down here across the
Well, in asking questions about the people that live out there, their homes, that area has been affected so bad, they're not going to have water anytime soon. They're not going to have electricity anytime soon. Those homes that are standing are uninhabitable for the most part. And before they can even get back in the area, things are going to be cleaned up. So we need to help them as fast as we can get through this process so we can help them move on in their lives and getting that area cleaned up so maybe they can reestablish out there. And I believe they will with a lot of the help from the people that got involved with Habitat for Humanity. I believe they will rebuild and make it